Hello everybody, welcome back to Peachy Disc Golf. Chris here at Chattahoochee Pointe Park. Today I'm going to be testing out some new discs from Dynamic Discs and Latitude 64 in my favorite plastics, either the Royal Grand plastic or the Supreme plastic. So let's jump right into it. So real quick, let's talk about the 4 discs that I have here with me today. All of these are supposed to be pretty overstable. Let's talk about what we have here. First up, I have the Royal Savior from Latitude 64. This is sort of their entry into that overstable approach disc, similar to a Zone or the Harperley, I guess, from Westside. But the hand feel, this feels pretty nice in the hand. It's got a pretty good depth, I would say. So I typically throw a Zone in this slot, and this is a little bit deeper, but pretty comfortable, and the plastic feels great. So looking forward to testing this one out. For a mid-range, I have the Supreme Fugitive. I do like the way that it feels and flies, but this disc is listed as like a 5404 or 5504, something. It's got a lot of fade at the end, but I haven't really noticed that much when playing, but we'll see when we test it out today how overstable is this mid-range, but overall I have enjoyed this disc a lot. Next up, I have the Sockibomb Felon here in the new Supreme plastic, and I already have a Felon in the bag. I actually brought it with me again. My guess is this one is going to be a little bit more overstable even than the Ricky Felon that I have, so we'll see. We'll actually, when I throw this one, I'll actually try to do a comparison with the Ricky Felon that I have, and we'll see if this is more overstable or if at my lower arm speed, if you'll even notice a difference. And then last up, the disc that I probably will not throw too much here, but I have the Supreme Trespass here. The plastic feels great on this. This is a overstable 12-speed driver, so something that my slower arm speed can't really handle too well, but we'll give it a shot anyway. So we're going to be playing the front 9 here at Chattahoochee Pointe Park, testing out these discs. I'm going to allow myself to use my normal putters, but outside of that, we're only going to be throwing these 4 discs. So let's head to hole 1 and see how these discs fly. Hole 1 here, 200 feet, par 3. I'm going to be going up this right gap here, straight to the basket. I'm going to be trying out the Fugitive here. We'll see how far to the left it fades or if it's going to head to the basket. Okay, that's got some stability to it. That I threw a little on hyzer and it sort of stayed on that hyzer line. It didn't dump though. It was a pretty nice flight, honestly. All right, got into circle 1 here. Got a straddle though. This tree's a bit in the way. Got it. Let's go. So hole 2 here is about 390 feet. It's a par 4, pretty open shot, just a few trees scattered throughout. I'm gonna be throwing the Trespass here. Again, this is a 12-speed driver, so not something that my arm speed can really handle that well. I imagine the minute this comes out of my hand, it's gonna go straight for a little bit and then dump left. So we'll see how it goes though. There's a little bit of headwind as well. That'll help keep the disc straight for me, but we'll see. Okay, that held pretty straight for a while actually. I think the headwind did help with that, but definitely overstable, but pretty nice flight. Decent distance. I've definitely had further lately. Gonna go with the Savior here for a little chip approach shot. Oh wow, that went a little long. I threw it a little wide as well. Well, we got a circle 1 putt. Definitely threw that a little too hard. Oh, we're not. Oopsies. I definitely thought that was it. Hole 3 here is 280 feet. It's par 3. The basket is tucked off a little to the left after this main gap you have to make it through. There's a bit of a headwind coming in, so I think I'm going to go with the Felon here. I actually have both out, so we'll go with the Sockibomb Felon first. We'll also give the, is this Fusion plastic? I actually don't know Dynamic Discs plastics that well. Oh, dang, that was going to be pretty good, I think. Try the Ricky Felon also. Now I feel like I have to try to commit to that same line. Well, I sort of did. Seemed pretty similar to me. We got another little chip approach shot with the Savior. Oh, I think I threw it long again. Nope. That's like 5 feet. definitely thought I overthrew this one, but turns out it was pretty spot on. All right, hole 4 here, 730 feet, par 5. This one's gonna be one of the trickiest holes for me, I think, with my current disc lineup, because normally I'll throw like a crave or something just straight through these first 2 gaps, and then it's wide open after that. But everything I have is very overstable, so I'm gonna end to the left. I'm gonna try the Felon. I think that's my best bet here. Oh, that should be good. Nice, right in the middle. Now we'll try the original Ricky Felon Fusion plastic as well. Okay, so definitely straighter. Not by much though. For my arm speed, they're very similar, but the original Ricky Felon, the Fusion plastic, does seem to carry straighter for longer, but they both do have very overstable finishes for me. All right, well, you can see both of my Felons are stacked on top of each other, so very similar in flight for my arm speed. All right, so since we have a wide open shot, I'm gonna go with the Trespass here. Just hang it out to the right and let it come back. Uh-oh, I put a lot of anhyzer on that. And it's gonna stay out on the right side, just in line with the tree there. All right, unfortunately, I left this very short. So I'm gonna go with the Trespass again. Basket's probably still, I don't know, 280 from me. A lot of anhyzer again. I need to stop leaning my body back. It's a decent throw. Let's see if we can get a long putt for birdie here. Oh, that was very close. Nice birdie putt. Twice for its luck. Oh, it was luck. It really was. Hole 6 here is 195 feet. It's a par 3. Pretty open shot here. Basket's just straight ahead. We're gonna go with a little mid-range throw with the Fugitive here. Don't have to throw too hard. Hang it out a little bit to the right and see how far it fades. Again, we'll see if this has that 3 or 4 fade, whatever the numbers say. Well, it's definitely overstable. That's about pin high, but it definitely did have a pretty good fade. I threw that on the line. I would have thrown like my hex or something, and the hex would have probably been right under the basket there, but that definitely did have more fade than that. So pretty nice disc. Oh my. Short on both. Hole 7 here, 255 feet, par 3. Got an initial gap here to make it through. Basket's tucked off a little bit to the left. Normally I throw a straight to understable fairway here to keep it nice and straight, but I don't have that option, so I'm gonna be going with the Fugitive, throwing it hard, and just hopefully it doesn't fade too much at the end. The brush on the left can be pretty tricky to get through. Put a little anhyzer on it. I'm gonna go with a chip approach with the Savior here. Okay, that'll be a par. Hole 8 is 190 feet, par 3. You can see the basket under the tree to the right here. Normally I go with a slightly understable mid-range to get a little turn action, but again, don't have that option today. So I think I'm gonna go Fugitive. I'm gonna put a little anhyzer on it. And I've seen so far, like if I do put anhyzer on it, it doesn't fight out that much, so we'll see. Hopefully I put enough on and it doesn't just end off onto the trees to the left here. Okay, so that panned out. Pretty overstable. It's a pretty nice flight though, actually. I did like the way it held the anhyzer for most of the flight, but definitely when it slows down, it's got some beef to it. All right, just for fun, try a little forehand action. Ooh, that is beefy on forehand as well. That'll be a nice forehand disc if you're trying to find something really overstable. Like for my forehand, it's pretty bad. That was pretty smooth, had a nice overstable finish to the right. So if that's something you need in your bag, Felon might be good for that. Hole 9, a short little 180-foot hole, straight ahead with just 2 trees flanking either side of the basket. I'm gonna go with the Savior. that skipped right under the pole. Go ahead and tap this in. Okay, because I skipped hole 5, we're gonna jump ahead here to hole 15 to make sure that we get 9 holes here. Hole 15 is 205 feet, it's a par 3. I'm gonna use the Fugitive here. This actually is gonna be a good disc for this hole because I don't think from this camera angle you can tell, but this tree right in front of the tee pad is right in between me and the basket. So I need to swing outside of it. I'm gonna throw it flat and high and trust the fade of the disc here for once and hopefully it'll swing to the basket. So if this is a good overstable disc, this should be perfect for this hole. We do have a little tailwind as well, so that should help with the carry and with the fade. All right, I think I'm left with a circle 1 look there. That was a pretty nice flight. All right, the Fugitive got me circle 1 here, probably 20 feet. Oh, that was so close. Same thing. Look at that consistency. All right, well, I'm all finished up with my 9-hole challenge using these new discs from Trilogy here and their most premium plastic. Figured I'd give you my final thoughts real quick of each disc. First off, the Savior, I really like. It is a nice, dependable, overstable approach disc. It feels pretty good in the hand. This plastic feels great. That's gonna go for all of them, honestly, though. This Royal Grand plastic and the Supreme plastic are probably my favorite plastics on the market. I did like this. It's a little deeper than the Zone. I think I like the Zone a little bit more, so I don't think this is going to throw the Zone out of the bag, but I do like this disc. I could see myself throwing it in just for a couple rounds here and there. Did enjoy using this one. The Fugitive is another disc I'm not sure about quite yet. I feel like it's not as overstable as its numbers say. I think my Pyro, which I think is only a fade of 2.5 or something, is even more overstable than this disc is. If anything, it's the same. So I don't know if there's room in my bag for this disc. I do want to do sort of a back-to-back comparison between this and the Pyro. If this turns out to be a little less overstable than the Pyro, maybe I would put this in if I wanted to complement something between my Hex and my Pyro. We'll see. But overall though, the disc feels great. It does have a nice flight. On Anheuser, I was actually pretty impressed. It does hold that Anheuser pretty nicely. It doesn't just immediately fight out of it, but it does have a dependable fade still. So it will definitely pan out for you. And then it will finish to the left, but not like, it holds the Anheuser pretty well. You can make some pretty nice shapes with this disc. All right, next up is the Sockibomb Felon. Now I do like the Felon a lot, but for my arm speed, I don't really notice much difference between this new Supreme plastic one and the Fusion Ricky Felon, but I do like both. I can see myself really just going either way. I think I'll probably keep this one in the bag because I do like this plastic a little bit better, but honestly, the original Felon does feel nice in the hand. It's got a really nice flat profile, so I enjoy both really. So those are gonna be interchangeable for me, but even for lower arm speeds, if you need something to go left, this disc is gonna do that for you. And then last up, we have the Supreme Trespass here. This disc obviously is not gonna be going in my bag because it's a 12 speed. I don't really have the arm speed to handle that type of disc right now, but overall the flight did impress me. It definitely did not dump left. Like for example, Destroyers and like DD3s, when I throw those, they pretty much dump left right after they come out of my hand. This one does go straight for a little bit before fading left. And the overstable finish really isn't too strong either. So for a lower arm speed player, probably still not worth it, but definitely something to check out if you have more arm speed than me. So that's gonna be it for this episode though, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet, I would greatly appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and ring that notification bell so you can be notified when our next episode comes out. Until next time, guys, cheers.